We are used to think to the antimicrobial resistance, but there are also other pathogens.
In the past, when we used the word antimicrobial resistance, we were always referring to antibacterial resistance and not thinking of other pathogens than bacteria, because bacteria are most abundant, of course. However, during recent years, we learned that fungi can develop resistance too. And that is specifically true currently for Candida species, for example, Candida auris, for Candida parapsilosis as well, with acquiring fluconazole resistance. And we do see that same development in Aspergillus, for example, Aspergillus fumigatus, becoming resistant towards azoles, which are the #1 drug class for control of the Aspergillus fumigatus infections.
What is the difference between bacterial and fungus pattern resistance?
The difference between bacterial resistance and fungal resistance is primarily that we only have a very limited number of antifungal drugs and drug classes. We only have 3 classes that we can use on their own. It's the triazoles, the echinocandins, and then amphotericin B or liposomal amphotericin B being the only representative of the 3rd class. So if there is resistance in, let's say, Candida auris, resistance to azoles, then you are automatically bound to use either an echinocandin or amphotericin B formulations. If there is resistance to 2 antifungals, then you are just there with the single remaining one, whichever that might be, out of the 3 that are the very small denominator.
Which is the prevalence of Candida auris resistance?
If Candida auris is being diagnosed, you should always consider it resistant to fluconazole, often resistant to voriconazole as well. And there are quite some where you cannot even use echinocandins or liposomal amphotericin B. We are practically waiting any moment for pathogens within or isolates among the Candida auris that are resistant to all 3 drugs. An important aspect is that there will be new drugs hopefully becoming available, coming to the market. And some of the new drugs that are currently under development are active against Candida auris. And we hope that they will remain active for a long time.
So what can we do?
I'd like to split the question into what can we do today and what do we hope for tomorrow. So what we can do today is clearly infection control measures, and it gives a good orientation, the infection control measures that we apply in gram-negative multi-drug resistant pathogens, specifically contact isolation. You should have contact isolation for patients from endemic areas, and ideally, it's not easy for everybody being admitted to the hospital, but one will have, for logistic and capacity reasons, will have to restrict this to those from endemic areas. Another thing that we can do is really follow the manufacturer's guidance on how to work with their instruments, for example, thermometers in a hospital, how to disinfect them so that they can be safely given to another patient. That is something that has not been done in the past, and we can certainly improve on that. But for the future, and specifically if we don't get the worldwide emergence of Candida auris under control, and I would honestly not know how we can control this apart from containing it. So in the future, we need new drugs to treat these patients, and there are several drugs coming that are currently under development, and we hope that the companies don't run out of resources and will be able to finally deliver the drug to a market and to a hospital.